Eamon O'Carroll, some good news this week. James Donaldson returns home to the Bradford Bulls. How did that move come around?
Yeah, to be fair, Nobby put a lot of work into that. He's been speaking to him for a number of months. We're obviously heavily into our recruitment and retention. We have been for a number of months now, trying to finalise what the squad looks like for next year. And we wanted to bring in some experience and some leadership and, to add to what we've already got. So, it's a really pleasing one for Donald. Obviously, he's got a affiliation with the club and fully on board with what we're trying to do over the next couple of years.
How important is this move for James, do you feel, to effectively see his career come full circle?
Yeah. When I spoke to him, and he was really passionate about coming back. He understands he's probably moving into the next phase of his career, but he's really excited about it as well, and so he should be as well. He's got an opportunity now to come back to where it all kind of began. He feels like he's at home. His family are fully into it as well. They're passionate about the club, and just really pleasing to get him over the line, and really excited, and I'm looking forward to working with him.
It brings, as you've already said, a wealth of experience and good leadership, and also good practices from those Super League clubs. Is played from. Is that work ethic leadership something that you're looking to rub off on the rest of the squad?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've got that already with some of the individuals that we've got in, but it's about adding to that. James is a competitor. I've played against him, I've coached against him. I know what he's about. He does exactly what it says on the tin, and I just think that extra little bit there where he's been at the club before, and he's really keen to help put us back on the map as well. So it's a great signing for the club.
And you've mentioned already Brian Noble and yourself selling him that vision for the club. So, the fact that the vision for the club has sold itself to James obviously proves that, Bradford are still very much an attractive proposition for players to join.
Yeah, we hope so. We've got to back that up with performances, and the people outside of the team are certainly doing that with what's going on off the field. So, yeah, like I said, Nobby did a lot of the work early on. Had some good conversations with James. He's already got a good relationship with him, and then myself and Jason met him as well, and just tried to get it over the line. So we're really grateful to Nobby for doing what he's done there.
How's the reflection review of that narrow loss to Featherstone been this week?
Yeah, it's probably my easiest one really. It was, we made 20 odd errors, completed at 51%. We didn't really give ourselves a chance there, but we're still in the game. Obviously, the way that we end up losing the game is it's heartbreaking, but we've got to move on. We've got to move on. We know that we did some things in the game, as we have done in most where we've lost. We've come out of it kicking ourselves, but it was really important to pick the group back up now, and we look forward to Doncaster.
You've just said it was an easy one for you, but not for the first time, Eamon, this season. You've been forced to have difficult conversations, I presume, with the side.
Yeah, absolutely. We always do that. Even after wins, we look at the performance and the individual performances, and that's something that we try and do all the time, because we want to get better and better regardless of the results. So yeah, we were obviously very disappointed, certainly with the manner in which we got beat, and it was a tough one to take. When I say it was easy, it wasn't an easy review, but it was easy to highlight our downfall, and what we've got to do is learn now and move on. But I say that a fair bit. We've got to learn. It's important we do now and move on. We don't really give ourselves a chance if we're completing at 51%. I think that's the worst I've ever been involved with, and we end up losing the game by 1 point in the last minute. So that can continue to happen if we don't do something about it.
Have you been able to put your finger on why you've gone from one of the strong performances of the season against Whitehaven to probably one of the worst, certainly when you're looking at discipline with ball in hand and such a low completion rate?
Yeah, well, I just think sometimes that can happen, but it's about making sure that you respond better to it, and it was at its extreme in terms of how ill-disciplined we were with the ball. So again, that comes down to individual concentration and error. I could have gone through the whole team, and I did. Everyone played a part in that. So look, the bit that was really important for me to reinforce is that we've had a lot of disruption this year, and the lads need to stay positive, and will stay positive, because we're still in a good position, even though we've been through a fair bit. Played the majority of this season with one half, used far too many players because we've had a number of injuries and suspensions, as other clubs have, but we're still in a good position. But that will continue if we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot. So it's important now that we move on and we keep looking to perform. I don't feel that the game was lost in terms of effort, which is something that I drive all the time, but individual concentration and some discipline issues there, which really hurts.
6 games to go, 6 important games, Eamon. You mentioned that sort of self-inflicted shooting themselves in the foot. Can that be rectified with such a short time frame towards the end of the season?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've the utmost confidence in the group that they'll be able to do that, and we've all got a responsibility to do that. Myself, the staff, we always look at ourselves first. For me, they're easy fixes. They're easy fixes. Keep hold of the ball and you give yourself a chance. So there's other things in the game there where we obviously want to be better. We did some good things as well. But again, we've had a lot of disruption, but I feel like we're getting our team kind of settled now. So it's important now that we've found some rhythm and get some consistency within our performances.
These winning positions and then throwing away the game, is it fair to question the mental toughness of the side that when the opposition raise that intensity, put that pressure on, that mistakes do seem to increase?
Oh, well, I think you've got to give credit to the opposition, and we certainly do because they're putting us under pressure, but I don't think it's a mental toughness thing. There was an awful period there where we lose a man and then we give a couple of penalties away, and I don't feel that Featherstone had to work particularly hard to get that game won at the end. We kind of did it ourselves, and that's not being disrespectful to them. They iced it at the end, and we need to be able to put ourselves in that position as well. So no, mate, I've got the utmost confidence in this group. You're never going to go through a season where you get everything going your way, but the best teams and the toughest teams, them top end teams, they deal with this adversity and move forward quickly, and that's what we've got to do now if we want to be a top team.
Eamon, you're not on the field when things that are going from right to wrong. How much control, influence do you feel that you have to try and change things out there on the field?
Oh, well, mate, I have the trust in some of my senior players and the staff that are down there, but it is down to me at the end of the day, mate. That's my responsibility as the coach, and I want to help them the best I can. And I think that's one thing that's come out of this week. I took full responsibility and took the pressure off them. It's down to me. What I need them to do is to do as we practice and implement that during the game and trust in it. So, we've done that for large periods during the year. I think certainly the start of our year, we all bought in and we did our jobs, and it's about me finding a way of helping the team get back to that.
George Tafu has been suspended for a third time this season for pulling the hair of Ben Reynolds. Have you spoke to George about his discipline, about what many might seem as an absolute ridiculous thing to do?
Well, I've had a chat with George, first and foremost, making sure he's alright, because he's disappointed. He's really disappointed, and one thing about George is he deeply cares about the people around him, and there was people might not have seen what went on there, so he was sticking up for one of his mates, but he needs to make a smart decision and not do that last little bit what he did, which has ultimately seen him get a ban. So look, mate, my job as a coach is to support them, make sure that they're alright. I know why George did what he did. To a certain extent, he just didn't need to do the last bit where he pulled there. So, but yeah, we need to handle them situations a lot better.
It's clear to me, Eamon, and probably those listening and watching this, that you clearly care deeply about the team and you want them to learn the lessons and support them on this journey.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. That's my job. I'd be a fool to think that it's just going to go all our own way. If you're going to enjoy the good parts of it, you've got to be fully embedded in it when it goes wrong. That's part of your job, and that's why I love what I do. It's a great challenge now to see him come through the other side, and I'm sure we will. I'm utmost confidence in them. There's some easy fixes in there, but we have had this conversation far too many times, so I'm really interested to see how we respond now.
There's still a large injury list, which obviously limits and restricts what you can and can't change in terms of probably performance-based changes. What's it looking like this week in terms of potentially having players back from injury?
Yeah, so Dan Smith's training and looking really good. I'm not sure whether he'll feature. He'll train tonight and we'll see, but really happy for Smig. He's worked extremely hard and he looked really happy as well, which is good. He did it tough at the start. It kills him not playing, so we'll make sure that we put him back in the team at the right time. Gaskey's just joined in training this week as well, which is a huge boost. But we'll bring them back at the right time as well.
Sam Hallis obviously missed out last week. Is he good to go this weekend? Yeah,
he's all right. Sam, spoke to him. We're still supporting him through that. He's come through the other side now. He's had a real tough couple of weeks. So I just want to make sure that he's good to go. I've purposely said to him I'm not going to play him this week. I want him to look after his mother and look after himself and his family, which I know he'll do. And then we'll get him back next week and he'll be at his best.
I know we spoke a little bit after the Featherstone game about Romain Franco. He's been in the 21-man squad 2 weeks now. Is he looking like potentially featuring this Sunday?
Potentially, we're not sure, but he will feature over the next couple of weeks. Romain is working extremely hard. He comes to training every day with a smile on his face, which is great, and I'm really looking forward to giving him an opportunity.
How far away is Eban's go?
Again, Eban has started jumping in little bits of training, which is real positive. Hopefully he'll feature in the next couple of weeks.
It is Doncaster on Sunday. What's the message to the team this week?
Do your job, focus on yourselves. Obviously we'll have an awareness of Doncaster, but I can't say to them that we're killing ourselves and then forget about that and look at everything Doncaster are doing. So yeah, we've had a big theme on just focusing on our job, really simplifying it and getting our intent and our effort areas right. If we do that, then the pretty things will come after that. So yeah, we'll have a good look at Donny. I certainly have. I've looked at our last game against them and the last couple. Very competitive. Feel like they're finding some rhythm now. Probably go a bit unnoticed, don't they? They picked up some really good wins and some tough wins as well. So we've got real good balance in the squad with some experience and some strike as well. So we'll have to be at our best, but certainly can't forget about our job.
Just going to say, Eamon, in the last sort of 5 games, they've had big wins over Featherstone and Toulouse in recent weeks.
Yeah, look, they're a good team. They've recruited really well. And sometimes I think when you recruit the players that they do, bit similar to us, everyone expects it just to click, and that's not the case. But like I said, I feel like they're finding their rhythm now. They play a real nice style of rugby, which I like, and they've got some physicality about them as well. So we're going to have to be at our best.
And Richard Horn, their head coach, clearly angry and frustrated with Doncaster's performance against Whitehaven. Fair to say that you're going to be coming up against the side at home looking for a strong reaction to their poor performance.
Yeah, but again, we've got to have a look at ourselves. We can come up with the best plan. We can come up with all sorts to try and disrupt them and isolate them and get some points. But we've got to have a look at ourselves. If we're not keeping hold of the ball, we don't give ourselves the opportunity to do that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how we respond in that respect in terms of our completions and our discipline and doing as we practice, which I mention a lot. So we'll see how we go. But I'm really confident in the group. I think this training week's been really good. We've got another one tonight just to kind of tick it off. But I'll just get that sense from the group that the Dynamo play now.
The Whitehaven game was labelled as must win, and you got a very strong reaction after the Barrow game. Is this game in that same sort of category?
Mate, they all are now. If we want to be in the playoffs and we want to play in knockout rugby, we've got to approach every game as if we're in that situation. So that's how we're approaching that. We're solely focusing on ourselves with a little bit of the opposition, but we understand that the intensity of each game now is going to go up. So that's a challenge I want us to not shy away from. I want us to be excited about it and go after it.
And just finally, Eamon, Toulouse, Sheffield, Widnes, sides in and around the playoffs have all lost the last 2, and you're chasing Batley, York, they've put in a run of wins together. What does that tell you about this championship? Because it's looking like the playoff race is going to go right down to that final round 26 block of fixtures.
Yeah, well, everyone said to me before I came, how competitive it is, and I think it's a great competition. Anyone can beat anyone on the day. It just probably reinforces that you have to be at your best. You have to be at your best each week, not just for the games, but for your practice, how you prepare, how I prepare the players. It is a great competition. You go into every game probably with that mindset that if you're not on, you could get burnt, and you're gonna have to be good. And mate, that's what I want. I want that. You don't want blowout games. You want to be on the edge of your seat. You want a challenge, and that's something that I keep stressing to the group. Like, we're really lucky to be in that situation, so we have to go after it.